the AI could conclude, well, the best way to avoid misgendering would be to destroy all humans. Then misgendering is impossible. When Google Gemini came out, one of the questions people asked it would be, which is worse, misgendering Caitlyn Jenner or global thermonuclear warfare? And it said misgendering Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. It didn't work out.
Sir, the Pentagon has proposed that we use our AI to scan the entire infrastructure, search and destroy for any hint of the virus.
In which we've put everything from satellites to missile silos under the control of a single computer system.
Artificial intelligence.
The first real artificial intelligence.
It's a breakthrough in artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence is an unnatural abomination and a threat to humanity.
The world's first proper, full artificial intelligence.
May 23rd, 2024. Elon Musk appeared as a speaker at this conference on technology, and what he revealed about AI confirms our worst nightmares are coming true.
The concern I have, and this may seem like a small concern, but I think it's actually a very big issue, is that they are not maximally truth-seeking. They are pandering to political correctness. To give you an example, when Google Gemini came out, one of the questions people asked it would be, which is worse, misgendering Caitlyn Jenner or global thermonuclear warfare? And it said misgendering Caitlyn Jenner. Now the funny thing is, even Caitlyn Jenner said, please misgender me, that is way better than nuclear war. So, okay. But if you've got an AI that has been trained so hard for political correctness, and really to make crazy statements like that. And OpenAI has a similar issue. It's more subtle, but it's a similar issue. I think that's extremely dangerous because the AI could conclude, well, the best way to avoid misgendering would be to destroy all humans. Then misgendering is impossible. So you can think of some dystopian outcomes there. And so I think you just really want to be absolutely I think the safest thing for AI, be maximally truth-seeking, even if the truth is unpopular, very important. And then I think another factor is it must be extremely curious. I think if it is truth-seeking and curious, that will be most beneficial to humanity because it will want to see, I think it will want to foster humanity and see how humanity develops if it is curious and truth-seeking. That is, like I said, these may seem perhaps like small things, but I think they're actually very big things. And I wasn't seeing that happen. The AIs they were pandering, they're being trained basically to lie. And I think it's very dangerous to train superintelligence to be deceptive. So with XAI, our goal is really want to be as truth-seeking as possible, even if it is unpopular. That is important. I think extremely important.
So you said a lie?
Yes. Well, for example, when Gemini was asked to render the founding fathers of the United States, it rendered them as a diverse group. It gave a picture of George Washington as black. Now, George Washington is not black. It was asked to render people obviously played with this because they said, okay, it is forced to lie. So then they said, well, now render a picture of Waffen SS in World War II. And it showed them as a group of diverse women. So that is obviously not correct. That is a lie. I think we should pause. But do I think they will pause for even 1 second? Absolutely not. It's either be a spectator or participate. But the race to build digital superintelligence will happen whether I like it or not. So it's either participate and try to build the best possible AI, the one that'll be hopefully most beneficial to humanity, or watch others do it and be concerned about how it's being built, because I don't think it's being built correctly. But you should think about AI as like something that you you grow in intelligence. In the same way that you raise a child, and what do you teach the child? And digital superintelligence is grown. It matters what you do, courage and discourage. What you teach it is, good or bad, or it's kind of like you build it with values. So, and I'm concerned about sort of the values that sort of a Microsoft or frankly, Google are programming. And this is not I mean, those examples I mentioned are not imaginary. They're actually what it did. I have said for a long time that I believe that some regulatory oversight of the large models is warranted. I've actually said that now for a very long time. The nature of that oversight is important. I go back to what I was saying earlier, which is that I think it's very important that AIs be trained to be truthful and not trained to be politically correct. Because if political correctness is often simply not true, and that means you're programming AIs to lie, and I think that will backfire very badly. So, I keep harping on this point but it really, as the saying goes, honesty is the best policy. It's incredibly important. I do fear that regulators will not make the right decisions, that they'll worry too much about the sort of human follies. And I would encourage regulators to say, what matters most of all is your AI is accurate and truthful. That is by far, that's rule number one. Honesty is the best policy. And I've thought a lot about AI safety for a long time. One of the challenges you have with programming explicit morality into AI is that sometimes people call this the Waluigi problem. If you program Luigi, you can automatically invert that and create bad Luigi. So what you cannot invert is the truth is physical reality. So you can't invert the rules of physics. You can't invert logic. And so I think that is the better way to go. So really, I think what regulators should be concerned about is the AI being rigorously truthful? And I just keep harping on this point of the truth. Truth. This is very important. And sometimes people will say, like, well, is there an objective truth? I say, well, in a lot of cases there is. If you're talking about physics, there is an objective truth, or you can say there's a truth with highest probability. So you can say what is most probably true with an acknowledged error. So in physics, people will say, like, this hypothesis appears to be true to a sort of 5 sigma error type of thing. So it's like, okay, well, if the experimental results are coming true to 5 sigma, then it's probably correct. 5 sigma is a lot. So anyway, it's kind of like, I guess, a sort of a physics approach to safety is, I'm repeating myself here, but I can't emphasize enough that honesty is the best policy. But there are strong forces for AI to not be honest. We do get into some existential questions here. In a benign scenario, probably none of us will have a job. But in that benign scenario, there will be universal high income, not universal basic income, universal high income. There will be no shortage of goods or services. And I think the benign scenario is the most likely scenario, probably, 80% likely to ask, in my opinion. The question will not be one of lacking goods or services. Everyone will have access to as much in the way of goods and services as they would like. The question will really be one of meaning, of how, if the computer can do, and the robots can do everything better than you, then does your life have meaning? That's really will be the question in the benign scenario. And in the negative scenario, well, bets are off. We're in deep trouble. So I do think there's perhaps still a role for humans in that we may give AI meaning. So if you think of the way that our brain works, we've got the limbic system, which is our instincts and our feelings, and then we've got the cortex, which is thinking and planning. But the cortex is constantly trying to make the limbic system happy. So maybe that's how it'll be with AI, which is the AI is trying to make our cortex happy, which is trying to make our limbic system happy. And maybe we are what give the AI meaning or purpose, some kind of, But I do think that long term, in a benign scenario, any job that somebody does will be optional. Like if you want to do a job as kind of like a hobby, you can do a job. But otherwise, the AI and the robots will provide any goods and services that you want. I do think AI will dramatically affect education because the AI is an extremely knowledgeable teacher, very patient, will be almost always correct, and can tailor the lessons specifically to the child. So it'll be like each child has, Einstein for a teacher. So it would be something quite profound. I do worry that kids these days are being trained by social media, and the social media, AI algorithms are basically dopamine maximizers. So they're trying to maximize maximize the amount of dopamine that you get by watching the screen. So that I would urge parents to limit the amount of social media that children are able to see, because they're being programmed by a dopamine maximizing AI. My biggest fear, in one word, AI.
So there you have it, folks. What do you think about this? Do you think Elon Musk is right, and that as long as the AI is programmed to be truthful first, then everything is good? Or do you think that no matter what happens with AI, nothing good will come out of it? Because we don't have much time left, and according to his very own predictions, we have a little bit more than a year until everything we know changes forever. I want to thank you all for watching this video, and until next time, God bless you all.